Good morning, ninth grade. I hope you're ready to go for math. Yeah, like I told the eighth grade, probably after you got that science test yesterday completed, you just felt so good that you was ready to tear right into math this morning. So yeah, we are at 9.7 today. I think I'm correct on that. And we are looking at completing the square. Now before we go there, I thought I found it interesting. If you look on page 436, it's got a little diagram there and some writing that I can barely read, but look at the math and history. We think that this maybe is different, and while some of this type of schooling is different because of the coronavirus, this is not the first time students got sent home from school. Look what happened to Sir Isaac Newton. It says during Newton's college years, he filled numerous notebooks with his ideas and experiments in math subjects. Okay, now you've been filling notebooks this year. Okay, you've been writing in books, and I hope you're keeping them, because look what happens next. When the Black Death, a deadly plague, which Black Death is documented well in England, a deadly plague carried by fleas on rats, spread throughout England, Newton took his notebooks and returned home. Look, to sit down? No! He returned home to continue his studies and his experiments. You got your math book, you've got your tablet, you are ready to keep going. I don't know. Maybe you won't even take a break this summer. You'll just keep right on going, and we'll start in you Algebra 2, 10th grader doing Algebra 2. You'll just start right in this summer, continue on your own. Sir Isaac Newton did. You want to be a Newton? Here's your opportunity. Take your notebook, set to work. I don't think he had any videos either to watch, if I'm guessing. There we go. That's your sermon for the week. Back to 9.7, completing the square. You've done this in numerous lessons, and if you look up in 8.9, you completed it by factoring, and in 9.1, you solved it, the quadratic equation, by using 0. Today, you're taking one step further to do the same problem, but you're completing the square, the way it's called. Read your examples, 1 and 2. And 3, and then I will help you with a couple problems here. I want to go to your steps on page 437. I want to go over those I want you to take close notice of the first thing it says. Arrange the equation in standard quadratic form. Okay, I think most of them are today. I don't know for sure. I didn't work all the problems, but I know in the first part they are. You see, you first put your x squared first, and then you're going to put your number with a single x, or a single variable, and then you'll put the other number in the back, with just your regular number, and then equals 0. So if you have the equal sign in the middle somewhere, get them in the proper order. And anytime you take a number across the equal sign, you know you have to change the sign from a negative to a positive. So even though you're not doing much of that this time, you will need to do that here in a couple days. I'm not sure that tomorrow, I don't know for sure, but be sure you have it in the correct order. Your x squared, your single x, your regular number equals 0. If you don't, you cannot do this process. Okay, get that straight. Number 2, or the second one, divide both sides of the equation by the coefficient in the x term. Okay, if your first term has a 3 or 2, or if it's 1, you don't have to divide it. But if it has any, you have to divide all the numbers by that first, so you have like 4x squared. So then you divide all of them by 4. If you have a 5x squared, divide all of them by 5. Okay? You've got to simplify the problem before you can work, before this process will work, okay? Then it moves the constant to the other side of the equal sign. Now I'm ready to start. Okay, those first 2 you do not need to do in your first 3 problems of today's lesson. Okay, I am ready for number 1. And you have your x squared, negative 8, positive 3. You don't have to put that in the proper order, it's proper order. You do not have a number up here in the front, so you can skip the first two of your steps there in your little box there completed. The first two are not applicable to this problem. So we're ready for the third one. The third step says, move the constant to the other side of the equation sign. Okay, this is the constant, it's a positive 3. I move it over here, and I move it to this side, which makes the 3 a negative 3, okay? Now, if you work this out properly, you are supposed to subtract 3 from here and then bring it over here. You do on both sides the same. Well, eliminate that and get him over here and done. You are ninth graders, you are able to do that mentally in your head without subtracting 3 and then subtracting 3. So what you do on this side, you do on this side, okay? Now the next step is just a little bit more complicated, but once you get started, it's easy. Divide the coefficient of the x term by 2 and square it. Okay, the coefficient of x, divide this by 2 and square that answer. So I divide negative 8 by 2 makes me negative 4, and I square that answer. 4 times 4 is 16. I had two negative numbers, makes me a, oh yeah, you can look up there, positive, that's right. Squared 4 times negative 4 squared 16, okay? I move the 16 over here, and I also put him up here in the 3 spot, or in the back spot. I put him right here. Okay, now you just simply copy down your problem. X squared, put him here. 8x, put him here. Just like normal. Put your plus 16 here, and your plus 16 over here, which I did that here. I put him over here. You have to put the 16 on both sides. And so I have a 16, yeah, here we go, back here, sorry. I solved this side now. The last thing is solve. Negative 3 and 16, I combine those, which makes me 13 positive. There I have my equation squared. Let me give you a few pointers. Let me see here. In case you would have had to divide everything by a number here, you don't bring that number down here. But in your answer, you will always have the x squared and this number right here. This will always be the first two terms. And then this term here and this term here will vary. Or, I mean, you'll have to figure that out. Okay, let's just go to the next one. The next one is 2. Let me scoot this over just a little bit. I did number 2 up here. And it's x squared negative 14 positive 13 equals 0. Here again, the first step is done for you. This is in the correct order. And the second step, there is no exponent, or there is no number with your here, so you skip the second one. Now you're ready to come over here and move the 13. It's a positive 13, so you bring it over here and it makes them a negative 13. Or you could have subtracted 13 and then you had to subtract 13 over here. The next step is, if you get this in your head, you divide this number by 2 and square the answer. So I divided 2 into 14. I didn't do that here. I just shortcutted that. Makes me negative 7 and negative 7. Now watch that sign there. Sometimes if it's positive, you don't have to worry about it. But here it's a negative. Negative 7 times negative 7 makes me positive 14. Now I have my last term answer. 49 comes here. I put 49 over here. Oh, you can't see, can you? I brought my 49 down to here to my last term. I brought my 49 over here, and I combined the 13 and the 49, which makes me positive 36. Back up, x squared, negative 14x, 49, 36. Is that simple? It's easy. Just a few steps you got to keep in your mind. I don't guess I'll do 3 for you. It's so easy. But turn to, I wanted to do one that has at least a number in your front. So turn to number 40. It's in the back of your lesson. Normally I let you do those, but you go to number 40 and I will help you, or I will do that one for you here. So we're going to do it fairly quick. number 40, you have 3x, negative 12x, negative 9 equals 0. So here I had my 3, I just divided it by 3 because I moved this here. Everything had to be divided by 3. Okay, 3 into 3 makes me x squared. 3 into 12x, 3 going to 12 make 4 times, makes me 4x, still negative. 3 into 9 goes 3 times, makes me negative 3. 3 into 0 goes 0 times. I don't know why you have to do that one, but yes, you have to. And it still equals 0. Now you see you have your number in the correct order, and you have no coefficient up here. And so now you're ready to go back here and move the 3, work with the 3. You work with this guy first. 3, brings him over here to positive 3. You divide this guy by 2, and you square him. So 2 going to 4 is 2 times, and we are negative. 2 times negative 2. Oh, wait a minute, divided 2 into here makes me 2 negative. I put a positive sign there, that's supposed to be negative. Got caught myself. Negative 2 times negative 2 equals positive 4. Oh, I still come out all right, I guess. So now I put my positive 4 here, and I put the positive 4 there. You get that little step there? Did you follow me? Once you square this number, that one is your last term, and also you put him on this side of the equation. And now you simplify the equation. Positive 3 plus positive 4 makes you positive 7. I put a positive 4 there. I brought this guy down to here and this guy down to here. Don't bring this 3x squared down to here. Don't have a 3x. No, 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 we can't do that. No. Your answer is not squared. Your square is not completed. If you bring it through, if you have a number out here in the first term, you have not completed the square. Let me see here. Is that it? I could do another one. It's fairly easy. I'll let you work on them. If you do get stuck, give me a call. I'll see you tomorrow.